Today, we head into new terrain and explore the west side of British Columbia in our Flat 4 off-road Forester. This 2-day adventure will take us far into the Rocky Mountains and into new climates that we have yet to explore. Not only will we get to see some epic trails, but we will get to explore remote locations that few see. Although this is far from a solo trip, as we tag along with a great group of people from the Vancouver Subaru Club. So, what are you waiting for? Let's go. What is up, and welcome back everyone to another adventure in, well, the Subaru Forester and a couple other Subarus. We are with the Vancouver Subaru Club doing one of their adventures today. We're going to be checking out an area kind of by Carpenter Lake here. And as you can see, we got some pretty sweet Subaru builds. We got XT 04, we got an Outback XT, and then a Crosstrek, all built up pretty well. So it'll be cool to see what they're capable of and kind of see and explore this new area. Because as you guys know, I have yet to explore kind of north of Vancouver, and that's what we're exactly going to be doing today. I don't know what we're in for. They know what we're in for, so we're gonna have to just follow along and check it out. So let's go hit the trail. Jumping on the road, which was nothing more than a gravel logging trail, we started making our way up the side of the lake. Turn after turn, we made kilometer after kilometer on this extremely dusty path that was dug into the mountainside. Well, until we turned off the main road and started making our way up the mountain pass. Much like the other road, this road fell into the landscape, snaking its way through the valleys, mountain peaks, and glacier creeks. But as soon as it started leveling out towards the summit, we once again turned off the road and onto a smaller trail. Here, it wasn't much more than a single lane that aimed for the summit. As we worked our way through the forest, we gained more and more altitude, which became clearer as we broke through the trees and enjoyed an epic view of the lake on the other side. But it was far from over as we continued to push up through the never-ending switchbacks. And well, we're making our way up. As you can see, the climate has already changed compared to what we started at, where it was more like deserty. But as we kind of got up here, we're getting into smaller trees and really up into the subalpine, I believe. So it's pretty much just switchback after switchback, but every once in a while, with the power lines or like a clearing, you get a view of, I don't know what lake. I want to say it's Carpenter Lake, but I think we were on the other side. There's like a lake right there and a lake over there. And every once in a while, you can kind of see you get amazing view. It reminds me of the Kootenays trip, where we were doing that one trail to lookout, and you're running that ridge. This says this is called something ridge, so I'm assuming that there will be a ridge like that, but we'll have to see. But yeah, as I said, amazing views, and it's actually not too bad of a trail. Like, it's not super rough or rocky like the third day we did in the Kootenays, where, yeah, look at that. You can see the snow in the mountains and everything. It reminds me so much of the Kootenays. I think these might even be a little higher or taller mountains than the Kootenays, but yeah, it's pretty epic. The only downside is we got a forest fire right over there, and with that forest fire, it is smoking up that area, so our visibility is a little bit lower. I checked the firefighting to see what they're fighting with. There's no helicopter, so that's why we were able to get the drone shots. I'm still gonna keep it low just in case they do end up mobilizing a helicopter, but just want to be better safe than sorry if they're fighting a fire over there. But yeah, we're just making our way up the switchbacks, and as you can see, less and less trees, but this trail is pretty chill. I quite enjoy it. It's nothing too difficult. It's kind of a nice little cruise up the mountain. So yeah, we'll keep on moving on, and we'll reach the top sometime. I don't know when. So we continue to push up the mountain, out of the switchbacks, through the forest, and into the subalpine. And from here, it was a short drive up the final ridge and to the top of the trail. And well, check that out. We have made it to the top. And check out that amazing view. So up here, as I said, we can see the wildfires, which is to be expected. But we also get amazing view of the lake down there, the mountains and the ridge and everything else there. So yeah, this is, I would say, my top 3 peaks I've been to so far. So probably definitely have to return, maybe bring Austin and Adrian up here because it is an amazing view. But anyways, we're gonna start to head back down now since we have got this amazing view and go check out some other places. So let's go out. Coming back down from the summit, we made quick work of the sub-alpine as we enjoyed the last little bit of the view before making our way back down into the forest and down the switchbacks. And corner by corner, we descended down the trail, through the forest, and back onto the logging road that went down the mountain. From here, we linked back on to the logging road that went through the lake before passing through it, and back on the highway that passed around the other side of the lake. And well, it was a highway. It didn't feel like one as we moved from asphalt to gravel and back again on a road that was seemingly cut into the rock face. And well, we're back down from the mountain and we're heading along the road. It's not much of a road, but it is a road. As you can see, we're on the side of the lake and it's kind of paved, kind of rough, but it's kind of the road that kind of goes through this valley, and it's typical of what you see in BC, right? Like a lot of these roads we travel are not what you would consider a nice or even a road. Some of them are just like trails, but this one goes back and forth between gravel and pavements, so it's not bad. On one side you have a drop off to the water, and the other side you have a rock ledge, so it's definitely not what you would say a safe road, but it definitely takes you to some pretty amazing places like we just saw. So that mountain, I think, was that one, but we're up on the other side of it. So now we're heading, kind of looping around and then heading back this way. There's another place they want to show me, so we're gonna follow them and we're gonna check it out. Eventually we'll make it back after we check out this one other place to our campsite, have some dinner and call it a night. We continued around the lake until, once again, we turned off onto another logging road that headed up and into the mountains. This one, much like the previous one, started fairly large before narrowing as we climbed up. And much like many of our other logging roads we have explored, this one also came with some great views as we ran the ridge, going from logging sites to previously burnt areas to the dense forest. But once again, we turned off the main logging road and onto a trail, where we found ourselves deep in the forest and quickly gaining altitude. But unlike many of our adventures, with this altitude came water. And before long, we were lakeside and wheel deep in puddles. Something that I was not expecting way up here. But then again, I wasn't expecting what was coming next. And well, this is where the road ends, because behind us there's a little road that kind of goes along the lake. There's some people in Tacomas on 35s and it went over their hood. I have a snorkel, but I don't have dip breathers and no one else has snorkels, so not something we're gonna try this time. Maybe we'll try this someday, because I heard it actually goes all the way over the ridge, which would be a really cool overlanding trip. But we're gonna go ahead, turn around, and then head back down in the valley and kind of head back towards camp, I believe. And well, we're turned around now and heading back. We had to do a little reversing in there to get out. But yeah, that is a really cool area. As you can see, compared to where we were a couple hours ago now at this point, completely different environment. Everywhere here is just filled with water, which is kind of nice, or which is kind of cool, I guess, compared to where we were, where it was super dry. And if you look at it funny, you would probably start a forest fire. So it's cool kind of see the different areas. Another cool thing that I love, and I've mentioned this so many times in my videos, is BC knows how to do forestry roads and logging roads right. Supposedly, as I said, that one keeps on going and takes you way back into the backcountry, and then you eventually end up on the other side of the mountain range. Kind of like our BC overlanding trip we did back in the Forester a long time ago, where we were out of service, out of any civilization for like 5 days there. And that's kind of similar what you would do here. So that is something we'll have to look at doing in the future, because it is really cool to kind of see that there's more of that kind of stuff, even over here in the Vancouver area, where I expect it to be less, even though I guess we're 2 hours north, so that makes sense. But yeah, it's awesome to see. We might have to plan a trip out here, or plan a trip, kind of a longer overlanding trip, to check out some of these harder trails and see what we're kind of capable of in this kind of new environment. So yeah, as I said, we're heading back down, so that's kind of what we'll do. And I don't know where we're going, if we're heading back to the campsite or something like that, but I will keep you guys updated and enjoy the ride.
Now heading back down the trail, we navigated our way around the lake on the tight trail before getting back on the logging road. Here, with the help of gravity, we made good time and cruised through the forest, really putting our car's rally heritage to use. And after that, it wasn't long before we made it back to civilization and back to the lake, before pulling into the hamlet for a bite to eat at the only place to get food. After a good meal, we hit the road and made our way back to the campsite under the setting sun. Where, at camp, the last little bit of light disappeared as we discussed today's adventures before turning in for the night.
And there we go. We had a little bit of food, got back to camp, and got tent set up before it's time to head to bed. So the temperature actually is really nice today. It was a little bit hot, but now it's nice and cool. As you see, we're in the fleece and it's the perfect temperature, which is nice to see. It's not too hot, because you know, in those Kootenai trips in the summer, really hot, but up here it's a little bit cooler, so I really like that. But anyways, as I said, I was going to make 2 different videos. I think I'm just going to roll it all into one day, and we're going to do essentially our trip out of here tomorrow, because everyone from Vancouver is going to be heading back down to Vancouver, and I'm actually going to be heading towards the shoe shop, heading out east. So you guys can look forward to some shoe shop adventures very soon. As I said a couple years ago, I wanted to go do the big loop on the Forestry Road. I think we're going to try that. We're just going to have to watch the fires and see if there's any fires. If there is any fires, we'll have to find out something else to do. But if there isn't, I think I'm going to go ahead and attempt that loop. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed so you're following along. And yeah, we will see you guys in the morning. And good morning, and well, welcome to camp. Check this place out. There's another lake, because when we're camping in BC, we're always beside lakes, it seems like. Well, actually, I believe I read there's 20,000 lakes up in BC, so I think pretty much every time we're camping in BC, we're going to be by lakes. But yeah, this is the campsite. We got all the cars parked up here, and we had a nice little view of the lake. And well, now today, as I mentioned, I will be heading out to the shoe shop region. So we're actually going to be taking a little bit of a different route. Everyone else will be heading back to Vancouver, and I'm going to be heading to the shoe shop region because we get to go explore that region now. So yeah, let's go ahead. We gotta still pack up the rooftop tent, get the car ready, and then hit the road.
With everyone and everything packed up, we got back on the road. Once again, going through town before heading east on the highway that winded along the lake, once again switching between paved roads and gravel. But it wasn't long before we passed the dam that we turned off to the day before and started heading down into the valley, where I know I've said this before, but we were rewarded with some epic views. And as we continued to move through the valley, the mountains got higher and higher, and the valley got narrower and narrower. But we couldn't stay here all day, as we had places to be. So we kept up the pace and eventually moved out of the valley and once again on the mountainside. Here, the word highway lost all meaning, as we drove on a single lane, rock-covered road that made its way through the rock until, once again, we hit asphalt and finally civilization. Now, making good time on the paved roads, we drove through the mountainous grasslands before heading up the pass and into the forest. Shortly thereafter, exiting into the desert-like area of Grand Cache, where we finally met up with Highway 1.
And well, we have turned onto Highway 1, which means our adventure is pretty much over. We're back on our favorite highway that's taken us across BC multiple times at this point. And it's something that we were going to do last episode, but they closed the highway, so we had to take a completely different road. So this road I think we'll be seeing when we head back from Vancouver. I'm going to try to do what I didn't do when I was going out to Vancouver, where we're going to do it all in one day. We're going to do a Calgary to Vancouver in one day. And with that being said, I'm not going to continue the video into the Rooftop region because, well, we've got quite a bit of just Highway 1 and you guys have seen it already and you'll be seeing it one more time this summer. So we're going to wrap the video here. I hope you guys really enjoyed that adventure. It was really cool to check out those areas that I've never seen before, I've never been heard of. There were some amazing areas. I marked a lot on my GPS, even coming out of the area, the Carpenter Creek Lake area. There was lots of stuff that I want to check out. So I'm really looking forward to exploring that area more, especially with the Vancouver Subaru Club. They're awesome. They have some really cool builds and they're really good drivers, so it'd be cool to kind of see more of them as we kind of explore the region. I will also link, if I can find all their accounts, I'll link them down below so you can go check them out and check the cars out in more details. If you want to see more details on the cars, maybe let me know if you want to see me do a deeper dive into them and maybe we can figure that out. I will also be in Vancouver at the Vancouver Subaru Club summer meet, so I think this video, honestly, because I have so many videos going out, will be going out maybe around that time, maybe even a little bit later. So if you missed it, you missed it. If it's before, come out and check out the Forester, because of course the Forester is going to be there. But that being said, we're going to wrap it up today. As I said, I had an amazing time and I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. So next video, we're going to be checking out the shoe shop. I don't know exactly what. I have some ideas, but we'll just have to see. So until next time, peace out and stay humble.